Hi everybody. Well, it's late afternoon and this is a continuation of my last video. I had said, so that my last video was with Baron in the shoeing stocks, and I had said I was going to get out and after lunch and put a harness on him and drive him around. Well, it's rained all afternoon. It's just awful. I did have time to run out with Bill and exercise him on the stone boat a little bit, but I got quite wet on one of the strips and then I tied him and then I went back and did some more. Anyways, it's finally stopped, sort of. It's sprinkling maybe out there, but we really want to get this done today so I can kick all three of my colts back out into the pasture. We were hoping Trudy would come and help us, and she couldn't today, so we're just going to do it ourselves. And I'm going to throw a harness on Baron and see how this goes. Okay, so this is a horse that I recently bought, as most of you know. And when you buy a horse, you can hear what the person that you sold him to, you can hear what he said, but a lot of times things may be missing from that complete story. Now, I'm not in any way saying that the Amish guy I bought it from is not telling me the truth, but a lot of times he didn't tell me the whole story, so I'm going to tie him right here. I don't know for sure. He did say he did hitch him up a couple times, and he just hitched him up as a team, and I don't think he ever hitched him up single. And he kind of made it sound like they had a little bit of trouble. So he didn't go into details and I didn't ask. But so what I'm going to do, and what I would do with so often when I buy a new horse, I want to start on the basics to start with. So I'm going to go out and just drive him around the driveway single and see if he can do that. So I'm going to put on ladies harness on him and put a bridle on him, and we will attempt, Brenda will lead him while I drive him, and then if he works good, after a little while, Brenda will let go of the lead rope and hopefully I can drive him around. But you just never know what's going to happen. And so let's get him harnessed up and we'll see. There we go. A week or two ago, I did put a harness on him and I made a video of that. So if you want to go back to that one, you can see how things went with that. And I'm not going to talk much about the harness except for the fact it doesn't fit perfectly, but it's perfectly fine for what we're doing. Okay. It's interesting because we weighed him up in our last video, and he definitely weighs 30, 40 pounds more than he did the first time we weighed him up. But it doesn't seem like this harness is fitting him as good as I thought it was. But I'm not going to adjust much because, like I said, it's just not a big deal because we're just going to drive him around the driveway. And I don't even think I'm going to put the crooper on. I'm just going to kind of tie the crooper up right here.
I was just wondering, do you think he's used to a crooper before?
I don't know, but I'm not going to worry about it today. I'm going to just set this over here. And then, okay, get the belly girth on. And that most definitely seems pretty loose. And then we'll put his long lines on. So I'm going to use Ken's Bridle. I have some adjusting here if I need it, but we'll see how it fits on his head. I'm going to leave his halter on, being a colt like this is. I just soon keep the halter on. Back up a little bit. Back up. Back, back, back. Yep. So we'll slide the bridle over and get the bit in his mouth. Of course, he's done this very little, so he's not very good at opening his mouth, but not bad. And it's quite large, so I will adjust that so that the bit was where it belongs. I hope I hope I have enough adjustment on this bridle to do that. I think I do.
Got his tongue over the...
Yeah, I know. Just barely hold it. Difficult to get this out of here. Okay, I got one side as tight and small as it will go. Hopefully it should be okay. Okay, it's still not as tight as I would even like it. These Suffolks, the heads seem to be pretty small, so I'll have to make sure I get a bridle when I'm ready to work them that is going to fit. But this is not too terribly bad. So I'll snap in this line here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to have Brenda lead him, and I'm going to attempt to drive him. Now, right at the moment, we're just kind of getting him away from the barn a little bit. And he's been in the barn all day long, so he's kind of feeling good. So let's see how it goes. We'll stop right here and ho, 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 ho. Like I said, I know he has some experience, but we just don't know how much. So we're just going to go for it and hope for the best and expect the worst and hope for the best. So Brenda, as we start, you can just lead. A careful step. All right, don't pull on this lead rope, just have a slack. Yeah. Okay, Brenda, walk right up to him, unsnap that lead rope. Cuff step. Keep walking as if you're leading him, but no, you don't have. Cuff step. Cuff step. After I drive a little bit, I'll start explaining a few things. But right at the moment, I got my hands full. He definitely knows a little bit, but he's also feeling pretty good. Fortunately, his buddies are in the barn, and otherwise I could see him trying to head to the pasture wherever they would be. Ah, Baron. His turning abilities are not that good, of course. I'm trying to swing him over here. Careful. Cast out. I don't know why. I'm kind of surprised, but he doesn't want to walk up that driveway. Even the same problem last time right there. But a little coaxing. He swung around. Now this, because we turned left, I want to turn around and turn around the driveway the other way. This is a good place as any. We'll do it right here. See over there. For some reason, that left-hand turn doesn't go very well. Oh. 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 Go to his head for a minute, Brenda. Oh. Oh. Just noticed my harness isn't now where it belongs. Not that that matters. Oh. Okay, let go. Over here. Cuffs up. It's all right, boy. Oh, car coming. Ho. 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 I cuffed up. Careful. A lot of people have asked before about what I say, and they've even asked some about different languages. And here's an example right here. This horse was brought up on an Amish farm, which means all he knows is Dutch or whatever exactly their language is. So I've said all along, I've said before, I guess, that language isn't really that important. What you say isn't that important. It's just all the other stuff that goes along with it. See over here. Careful, G. Careful. Careful. The way you talk to him, the way you steer him. Careful. Careful. I know that one thing the Amish guy did say about him.
Car's coming.
Is they had one of the kids try to work him to start with, and they did get into trouble. But he's a long ways from being a trained horse, but he's still doing okay. Some of the things I'm dealing with, some of the things that need to be dealt with, is he's walking along perfectly fine like this, but when I want to steer him, you have to be so careful that he doesn't get ahead of you. You have to anticipate his every move, and as I'm going to turn him to the right up here, I've got to make sure that I kind of go to the left as I turn to the right. That way it keeps my lines kind of on the side of him. So I got mud puddles I got to jump around. Careful. Careful, step. A step. So I'm using the lines not to just steer him with the bit, careful, but also on his hind end. They're kind of acting as leverage against him, I guess you could say, to keep him straight. This is difficult to do without trying to explain what I'm doing, but I guess he's coming along pretty good. It's surprising. I'm pulling pretty hard on the lines to control him. I guess that's not a bad thing. A lot of horses at this stage, you can't get them to go ahead. He definitely wants to go ahead. We've noticed also, just leading him around with the other colts back and forth to pasture to pasture, he is definitely the fastest of the 3 horses. Although Earl, his full brother, is usually right there behind him. So, and being a colt, he doesn't want to go around again. He's slacking right there, he's trying to balk on me, trying to stop. Then he decides to go, and he goes fast. Oh my goodness, I have so many cars here, gee.
I know, right?
Usually we don't have cars on the road, but today we got a bunch of them, but we can live with it. Because he has so much energy, and because he's a little bit farther along in the training process than the younger colts are, I want to have him do some walking so that somewhat tires out. Easy, easy, easy. Now see, right there, I didn't make my corner, so I'm headed back towards the barn. And he most definitely wants to go to the barn because that's where his other horses are. So that's why I have to be awful careful not to lose him. See, over there, I'm pulling hard on my right line. He's not wanting to turn. You'd think he'd want to go right to the barn, but now this is going to be difficult right here. I'm going to attempt to turn him around, and I don't know if I can. Very good. Careful. Careful. Good boy. Careful. 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 Now, if I can get around the driveway one more time, hopefully, without problems. Yeah, it puts me right through a mud puddle. That's all I'm going to do for my first lesson. And I'm learning an awful lot by this first lesson. Careful. I'm learning that he is a fast horse. There's another car. My goodness. We have a lot of cars. Brenda, why don't you head towards his head? I'm going to stop him. Oh. Oh. No. No. Okay, so he stops fairly decent. And with Brenda at his head, he stands good. If she wasn't there, he probably wouldn't. But it's surprising, just this tiny little bit of exercise, he settles down fast. So Brenda, I want you to back away, and I'm gonna see if I can start him all right. I cup step. Good boy. And as far as the lines go, I'm putting as little pressure on his mouth as I need to. If he's not fighting me, I'm not gonna put any more pressure than just keeping my lines tight. Tight meaning not slacking, they're just barely straight. But I don't want to put any more pressure on him than I have to. Now we're going back to our original way, and this is where he was turning so hard. So I'm hoping to get him turned onto the driveway. The first couple times around, he had to go into the green grass. Careful. That's better. He still tried to.
Do you think it's possible that he doesn't like the feel of this driveway on his feet?
Yeah, it's possible, but I doubt it. I think it's just, everything's new to him.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure he's never been drove single. He's just been put with a trained older mare, which is trouble because he's a stud, although she's already bred. She was the Amish guy. But anyways, this is something he has to learn. And I don't know about you guys, but I think he's done excellent. I'm very happy with him. But I'm telling you, I have had so many colts that do so good, and then all of a sudden something will just spark in them, and they just go berserk, and look out. I wish I had the time to do a lot of working with him right now because this would be a perfect time to do it at his age. And just the training process. You want to go to his head, Brenda? Oh. 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 But I just don't have the time. We've got to get to haying. And so I'm going to have to pull his harness off and get these guys out to pasture. But I was just so pleased how well he did. And we'll get him unharnessed and then we'll take the other two out and we'll kick him outside. Where's that lead rope?
I can tell that he likes him.
He'll do in a pinch. Come here. Come here. Oh.
Boys. Oops.
I know I've got too many clothes on. This coat's kind of warm.
I think he probably feels like that too.
Probably. Yeah.
You did good, Baron.
I gotta remember to fix the bridle for Nick.
Nick.
There we go.
Ken?
For Ken, I mean. Nick. Haven't had a Nick for quite a while.
He was in that stall.
He was a good horse too.
Does that feel better, Baron?
Air Force.
Are you gonna let him out right now or later?
Probably right now. Well, now. Well. Maybe one of the girls will come out and help us get him out tonight. I don't know if they might be busy, but it doesn't matter. I guess I could grain him tonight. Here we go. Here we go.
I'll make him like the barn.
There we go. There we go. Here. Here. Attaboy. Here. Oh, there's a hitch up in there. Come here. Okay, Brenda, if you want to give him a brushing.
Yep. I'll give him a brushing. Want a brushing? If you guys are more interested in Suffolk Punch horses, Jason Rutledge has a documentary out called Somehow Hopeful. It's on how he uses Suffolk Punch horses and also about the kind of forestry he does. And harvesting, or log harvesting.
We watched it last night on TV, and it was a very good movie. It said a lot about a lot of different things, so I would most definitely suggest if you want something to watch about horses and logging, but Suffolk horses in general, especially. By all means, check it out.
And these horses are ancestors of Jason's horses, right?
Yes. Jason's stallion that he has now, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure I'm right, is our Suffolk's grandfather.
Which he got from England. It talks about it in the documentary. It is on Venmo, so it's a little bit hard to get on, but I figured it out. I bet you guys can too. You got a lot of marks, Baron. still got a lot of growing to do. You're a good boy, Baron. Get over, Baron. Get over. Get over. Not like that, Baron. Get over. Come on, get over.
Just a second, let's throw my head in there.
That's yummy, huh? Is that yummy? That was a good first lesson.
Get it.
Oh, I gotta do Bill too.
Get it.
Billy?
I've been asked a few times about how much I feed to my horses, and right now Baron's just getting this little amount right here, about the same amount as I gave the other colts, and then after they're done their supper, they'll go out to pasture on the other side over there, and they won't get any grain at all over there. They may stay there for, you know, a week, maybe. I'm not sure how long it will be. With Lady in the field being working her, they will definitely be coming back and forth. And when they come in the barn, they'll get a little grain, but not much. So, but the working horses, I was asked recently how much I feed them, how many pounds. And I don't know how many pounds. I don't even know how much a pound is a full scoop. But I just feed according to their needs. If they're working really hard, they may get a full scoop 3 times a day. And that's pretty well the maximum amount that I normally would feed, and all the good hay that they'll eat, and plenty, you know, all the water that they want. But when they're not working too hard, the farm work is tiring, but it's not the hard work of logging, so they don't get fed as much when they're farming. But there's a fine line, because if you feed them too much, they're going to be too energetic, like Bill, and want to go, go, go. But if you don't feed them enough, they'll lose weight really fast. And it's a lot easier to take weight off a horse than it is to put it back on. It's kind of the opposite as with people. With people, so often it's hard to lose weight. But I guess partially because I work these guys and I work them hard, I can take weight off them really fast. And so I have to be careful of that, because I want them to continue to look good. So, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. We're just going to stay quiet, and you can just listen to Brenda brushing the horses and the horses chewing the hay. Have a great day.